All right, welcome to our COVID Insights video series. Once again, my name is Sofia Tappa. I am the General Manager of EMEA at Revenate. And today we'd like to share with you the results of a survey we conducted a couple of weeks ago. Some background information on the survey we conducted. We did a short survey for hoteliers on our website. The survey was conducted between March 27th and April 2nd. There were about 300 respondents with the following market breakdowns. So North America was represented by 45% of the respondents, Europe 9%, Latin America 27%, and Asia Pacific 23%. So what we'd like to share with you today are the results of this survey. And what is the market telling us, basically? And when we go through the different answers that we got, it turns out that 46% of the respondents think that the top challenges right now have to do with cash flow. Obviously, this is no surprise. Obviously, the hotels are trying to reduce fixed costs. A lot of hotels are completely closed, but they're trying to keep employees on payroll. They need to run with the minimum staff and just do the bare minimum for maintenance. But still, there's still a lot of fixed costs. Obviously, paying rent is a huge one, and a lot of refunds that they're trying to manage right now. The second biggest challenge has to do with uncertainty, and this is also a big one, and there's a lot of topics actually that fall under that one, and I want to deep dive a little bit on one of them later at the end of the video that has to do with how to develop your reopening strategy. There's a lot of content out there on that, so I want to give a bit of a thought around that. So a lot of uncertainty. Obviously, hotels don't know when they will be open again, how to forecast, right? A lot of the numbers that revenue managers have based their forecast on in the future may no longer be relevant. There's even, when we know some of your local market will be open, it'll probably be open sooner than some of the international markets. You don't know what the restrictions are going to be, and from your feeder markets where your guests usually come from. So some of the other challenges that were high on that list are how to manage existing reservations, obviously a lot of cancellations, a lot of uncertainty around the summer bookings in the books, and how to market to your guests. We'll see at a later slide that a lot of hoteliers believe that it's still good to keep in touch and keep communicating with the guests during this period. But there's a lot of questions about how to engage with your audiences at this time. Other challenges that had sort of less votes in the survey were how to work on all the safety around both guests and staff, and just the anxiety overall around traveling and working in the industry at the minute. We also asked our audience what the most important topics are that they want to hear during this period, because we are putting a lot of content down there in our microsite. And a huge percentage responded that they'd love to know a lot of projections on how and when business will pick up again, and a lot on planning and strategy. So how to strategize for when business picks up pace again. And as I mentioned just a minute ago, hoteliers do see value in talking to their guests right now. So I want to talk a little bit about one thing that's a hot topic. It's always been a hot topic, and that has to do with direct bookings, right? I think one of the many consequences of the current cash flow challenges and revenue challenges will be the fight for direct bookings. So hotels will obviously be looking for every and any opportunity to fight for that direct booking. I think that fight will become even stronger than it was before. We know that this has always been a focus. Many hotels have actually relied on third parties such as OTAs for a big chunk of their business, and for a lot of hoteliers, that has been guaranteed business for a while. So I believe that these will be challenged even more once markets pick up pace again, because they will need to save on every penny. And allowing third parties to take away a large portion of their profits is just no longer going to be an option. So I was talking to a hotelier earlier this morning, a hotelier up in Scandinavia, and he mentioned that guests are currently looking for a lot of information on their website before making reservations. Actually, some of their markets, especially in Sweden, are open at the moment, and they're getting some local business. So they're looking at the websites for information regarding the measures that hotels are taking. And this mainly has to do with hygiene, sanitation, and how to basically help minimize risks right now. So he was giving the example of how breakfast is run, how breakfast is usually done at a hotel versus how it will be run moving forward, or how it should be run. So this got me thinking a little bit about the current distribution model. And as most of you know, it is rather outdated. So I'm sure a lot of you attend distribution conferences every year, and you will probably agree that not a lot has changed over the years and probably over the last decade. So there are real known limitations on how to distribute your content through different channels and how to communicate certain aspects of your products and your offerings through these channels. So I would urge hoteliers to think strategically on how they can use this as an opportunity to drive guests to book direct, because you know for sure that the guests will be looking for this type of information about your current processes, your current procedures, and safety measures, like check-in, breakfast, checkout, etc. So that will simply not be found in other channels. So simply put, there are just no extra, no fields or extra descriptive areas in these channels that travel through your intricate interfaces and current connectivity in place. So seeing the slow development of the distribution software ecosystem in the past decade, I hardly doubt that these will be able to evolve with the agility that is nowadays required to shift gears almost by the day to help fight this crisis. So you cannot wait for these to further develop and evolve to enable you to share everything a guest is looking for right now. So do make the most of your direct channels, which you can customize. Your website, obviously, being a key one that's extremely customizable. Even if your booking engine isn't, I bet your website is. And your email communication, your social media is another one. So use all of these to drive direct bookers to your website for more information, for all this information that bookers are and will be looking for before making a reservation after this crisis. So, we have a lot of upcoming content planned, and we have a team of very passionate experts who are working very, very hard to help our customers succeed in their reopening strategies. So this is something that this is just one thought, one idea, talking a little bit about how to help fight direct bookings moving forward. But there will be a lot more content coming up on that front. So that's it for today. Thank you very much for listening, and stay tuned.